Hi there, I'm Adam, and this is the July update video for Shortline Simulator. Let's blow the whistle for the bridge. Shortline Simulator is an operations-focused train simulator game that's currently under development. We're crewing a local in this video, and our work today is to pick up 2 boxcars in the town just ahead. The game has 2 different camera views. There's first person, where you can run and jump and climb ladders, and we're using that in the cab here. And there's also an overhead view that lets you move freely and quickly around the map. It's also great for rail fanning your train as it rolls along. You can run the train with either one, and when I play the game by myself, I frequently switch between them, but I think that would be a little bit disorienting here, so instead I've edited in the external views. One of the biggest steps forward in development over the past few months has been in multiplayer. For this video we'll focus on the core gameplay, and I'll show multiplayer in a future video. So for this run we're using a mogul created by Green Coast Studios, and they did a really nice job with this model. And this is one of the biggest new things. I forget about it because I've been playing with it almost every day. But he's modeled these really great controls inside, and they're all animated. So it makes it a lot of fun to use. You kind of just reach out with your mouse, as I'm about to do here, and drag that locomotive brake over, set it just how I want it, the gauges update, and so forth. So we'll bring our train to a stop here. Kind of apply our brakes. And let's get on the ground and see what's happening. So we've got a switch that's set against us. I have to fix that. We just click on it there. I'm going to kind of run back to our locomotive. And this is one of the, I know I made the game and everything, but really this is one of the fun parts of it, that you can kind of run around, jump on things, ride on things, and operate your locomotive from whatever viewpoint you want. If you want to stand out here like I am, you can. If you want to stand on top of a boxcar, if you want to stay in the cab like you should be to operate safely, you can do that as well. And here I'm using the kind of on-screen controls. They're also keyboard controls, but that's not as good to watch me using those. So we got to throw this other switch here of the crossover so we can get over those boxcars that we want to pull. I'll come up here and throw that switch too. And one of the pieces of the game that I haven't gotten yet are building models. So there are a few of them around here. But that's something that is really missing. So, ideally this would be a more populated town, and we'll get there, but it's not there just yet. So we'll watch our train come through the crossover. Now I tend to like to operate, even though I run around at high speed using the shift and control keys, I tend to like to run at what I think is a pretty realistic slow speed. So hopefully it's not too slow for you. You can always shove that throttle slider up a bit, at least until I implement wheel slip, and get going a bit faster, and then slam the brakes on and so forth. All right, all stopped. We'll hop down. And you'll notice, hopefully you see it the way I do, that the movement is pretty smooth and fluid as far as your character. You don't have to press a button or something to climb a ladder. You just walk toward the ladder and your character climbs up it. Now here I'm hopping up on our caboose, and this caboose is something I modeled and I haven't yet put textures on it, so apologies for that. But if you're paying attention, you notice that I forgot to cut the caboose off when I did this. So I'm going to shove back through the crossover and cut this caboose off like we should have done in the first place. No doors yet either. Okay, looks like we're at a good clear spot here. We'll go in between. There is a simulated air system, so when you're cutting a car off, you do need to close the angle cocks, and then I'll click on the coupler in this case to break the connection. Switch the reverser into forward, apply some throttle, release the independent brake, and we'll go forward now. So this is actually one of my favorite parts of the game, is being able to just hop up on the side of cars, grab onto the ladder on that on this box car, and ride it back just like a brakeman would, or a conductor even. And it's one of those things where you can I've got some hotkeys to jump to the front of the train and the back of the train and so forth, but I think it adds a lot to the realism and the fun of the game to just hop on the car and ride it, like they would in real life. Okay, now we're ready to make that shove, couple onto those boxcars. All right, good couple there. Cut the bell off, and we'll go in between, open up the angle cocks so we can actually have control of the brakes on the back of the train. And just as like a quick demonstration here, if I go all the way to the back and I open up this unconnected hose, and if you look in the lower left, you see those kind of the red bars appearing. That shows the brakes being applied on the end when I let that air out. And so now the compressor is hurriedly filling up the brake pipe. So this is another perfectly acceptable way to operate, I guess. For me it is anyway. A lot of fun, just climb up on top, get a better view, even though you could use the third-person view. This is pretty good. So now we'll watch for that spot, watch till we're clear of the points, and then we can hop down and throw the switch. And by the way, this is kind of a known bug that I've got the orientation of those sliders mixed up there. The independent should be on the bottom and the train brake should be on the top. My thinking here is to model the layout of the sliders after the AAR control stand that you usually find in a diesel, not a steam locomotive, but it seems like a pretty good model to follow. All right, it looks like our switch points are set to shove back through this switch. And as I got it going here, I realized that I forgot to set the angle cocks in between, and the train's already rolling. So being a safe person, I figured, well, maybe I could just reach around and twist those angle cocks, but I couldn't quite get to this one. This is pretty embarrassing, but I have no words to explain what I just did there. I mean, if there's any kind of like money system in this game, it probably would have docked me at least a few bucks for a new pair of shoes there. Okay, clear the points. Switch points aligned to the main. A little bit of Doppler effect going on the bell there. Our work is done. I think we're about ready to head out of town. And that about wraps it up for this update video. Thank you so much for watching, for your interest in the game. It's a lot of fun to share it with you. If you're interested in learning more about the game, I'd invite you to join our Discord server. There's a link in the description. We talk about the game, I share some updates. Or perhaps you are a 3D modeler or somebody who's good with sound. You're interested in helping out with the game. I'd love to talk to you there. And it may surprise you to learn that you can subscribe to this YouTube channel should you wish to be apprised of future update videos. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.